So we did the Monday, the Tuesday, and the Wednesday this week. And we tried to do them fast. It didn't go so great on the Wednesdays, to be fair. So maybe our limit of how good we are, kind of like the Wednesday is our current border. So we'll do the Thursday, but we're not going to try to speedrun it. So if you have anything in chat, that's fine. Maybe at the end I'll look back and we can kind of teamwork it, but I'll give everything a once over and we'll see how we do. New York Times Thursday. Let's get into it. So, evidence collector. For short. It's like a detective, a tech. There's different little abbreviations that they use sometimes. Homecoming of a sort. Trial figure. Well, it could be a juror. It could be a judge. Those both start with J-U. Does J make sense here? Brand for bakers. What's some brand of like, well, there's Sara Lee. Could that be an L instead of a J? Oh wait, S-A-R-A, that doesn't even fit. Let's see here. Neighbor of New York. Well, there's multiple options there, right? So let's see what our downs are. Get bronze. Okay, bronze, you can be tanned and get bronze. You can also get the bronze medal, which is third place. In horse racing, if you get first, was it win, place, and show? But show doesn't really work here. What's up, Guff? One across has to be CSI. I like the idea, CSI. But the collector of evidence, what does CSI stand for? It's crime scene investigation. Maybe it's crime scene investigator. That would make sense. Yeah, and this could be suntan. Get bronze, maybe. Homecoming. Neighbor of New York. I don't know. We'll keep looking. I've never seen Gilmore Girls. Lorelei's Place of Business. Bowling pin shaped creature. Huh. Crime scene investigator. Okay, I like it. How you doing tonight, Guff? Thanks for stopping by. What the March Hare dips his watch in. Is the March Hare from Alice in Wonderland? Or maybe that's the Mad Hatter. Subject line. Well, there's like read, there's forward, maybe attention, maybe. Everlong. Oh, cool. Foo Fighters, right? Dude, you're unstoppable. You're learning a song a day at this rate. Love it. This is like mitosis. There's two things, right? There's mitosis, but there's also like meiosis. I don't remember which one's which. Go with mitosis for now. Technology used in seafloor mapping. Would that be sonar? There's radar and sonar, but the sonar is like boom, you set the sound out. Maybe you have to boom, and then it bounces off the floor and comes back. Do we like an S at the end here? Airport acquisitions. Lead into normative. Maybe heteronormative, which means it's not mitosis, it is meiosis. Meiosis, I think that's how you spell that. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was going to say after you had dinner, you stopped by today, I was going to tell you, check out the VOD. And you were already on it. Hetero. It was very cool. It was hard. It was not as hard as the spider. But we had a lot of fun with that game, and I'm really sad that it's over. But we have some fun new stuff coming tonight and in the future. Breath. That looks like inhalation. Anyway, yeah, GG's with the Ori. I'm glad you went and saw the end, because you were there for a lot of that experience. So you got some closure as well. Great story. This must be tea. Right? I feel like if this is the Alice in Wonderland fella, isn't there like a tea party or something? Maybe at the airport you require a stamp in your passport, so it's stamps. Bowling pin shaped creature. See, I don't know owl cap cartoons. That looks a little weird with the shla, but maybe that's the name of a strange creature. Itinerant. Itinerant. Inspiration for an essay writer. Maybe that's a prompt. Maybe an itinerant is a nomad, someone who's comes and goes. We like D here. U.S. city where the frozen margarita was invented. I would guess the South. But if it's frozen, maybe it's like Anchorage, Alaska. What's a southern city that starts with D? Dallas doesn't quite fit, does it? Oh, Dallas does fit. I like Dallas there. Shout out Luka Doncic. R.I.P. your finals title. A lot of career left, though. Vape black, maybe tar. People say cigarettes have too much tar. Vape has no tar. Transports not allowed on the highways. What's not allowed on the highway? Segway? Do they still have segways? Tricycle? Protection against tampering. Password, lock. Maybe we don't love tar here. A marathoner's focus is their pace. Do we know anything about what's happening with the clue? HAL? That's from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Does that tell us anything about this? If that's even HAL. That's the name of the computer in 2001. Let's take away tar, because I kind of like pace for this. And I like lock for this, but I don't really like this. Most lachrymose. That's a big word. Does that mean tired or sloth-like? Kind of electrons on the outermost shell. A few science ones in this one. A dancer's hall. I don't love what's happening up here. Oh, the hiking gear, that's probably REI. Reaching across. Sprawling. Brawlin'. Oops. A hanger-on. A leech. I think we can confidently put est at the end because it's most lachrymose. Wild ingredient. Wild yeast? Maybe? Spray. Spraying? What's happening here? Over it. Blasé. Something's blasé. That makes sense with what's happening here. Oh, a valence. A valence is a thing. A valence shell. So the marathoner's focus, is it a mile? Maybe this is ATVs, all-terrain vehicles, not allowed on the highway. Oh, the vape lacks ash. So the marathoner's focus. What does a dancer get? We'll come back up here. This is what gave us trouble yesterday, was the top right. Kind of, a bit. Symbol of industry. Gullible. Flop spots. Maybe that's styes. Because like, this is a sty, right? Is the plural of styes? Styes, maybe. Oh, a bee. Busy as a bee is a symbol of industry. Get out of dodge. Flee. Smooth. Something to pick up at will call. Probably a ticket. Gullible, naive. Get out of dodge. Maybe something is happening with these circles. Could that be how also? What's this clue? Kids menu go with. I dislike suntan now. Because this really looks like crayon. So it's Ray and Ray. So a marathoner's focus is what? Ale? Glamo? Schlo? Lorelai's place of business. Men's Ray. Brand for bakers. Tricky in the top. Let's come down some. In reserve. Name associated with blue ribbons. Maybe Pabst Blue Ribbon. Loud kiss. The smack, maybe. Staff note. So a staff note could be like a memo. Could that be related to music? President during the era of good feelings. If that was a memo and this started with an M, could it be Monroe? That's also a long time ago. The era of good feelings sounds like something from like 60s or 70s. But I am not good enough with my history. Let's see what happens if we make this memo. How do we like these downs? On the lamb. On the run, speaking of getting out of dodge. On the lamb. Fancy few would be least. Monk. Oh, maybe monk as in Thelonious Monk, which would be bebop. Jazz musician. So that's Ray and that's Ray. We don't know for sure that that's an A. But this is Lee. Is this Lee? Yeah, which means this is not ticket. Which means I feel less confident about smack. But we can make that leave. Let's take away smack. That was based on that K. A prisoner's reprieve. What do you call that? Parole? You get out on parole? So far all these circle letters are matching, so Monroe might not be right. Fivesomes, maybe pentads. I actually don't hate memo. But now OL and ON, something's different here. Former parent company of NBC. Murray Richards' boss? So this must be an older actress. So who's an older actor? Starts with an A. Alan Alda. Arkin? Could be Arkin. Alan Arkin. That makes sense? Dress down. Oh, the accessibility law. Was that the American for Disabilities Act? So this parole actually looks wrong, huh? We can leave A there. Does it tell you if you're right? At the end, when we have everything entered, it'll either say, congratulations, you did it, or it'll say something's wrong. And it won't tell you where something's wrong, and we'll have to do some CSI to figure it out. There's also an option for it. If we get really stumped, we can say, show us where we're wrong. Or we can say, show us like what this cell is. But we're going to do our best to go no hints. This looks like analog. Some clocks are analog or digital. Have a way with words. Well, if we take away parole, and this is ON. Oh, this looks like pardon, doesn't it? Which means that's not analog. That's the prisoner's reprieve as a pardon. So we have dawns here. Anyway, have a way with words. Enhances. Take baby steps. Roger's cousin with a question mark. I don't love baby steps ending in I, so I kind of want to get rid of Arkin. I really like go slow for this, which means... I mean, Pentads is kind of a long... I don't know if that's right anyway. Take baby steps. Like when you're learning your guitar songs, you take baby steps, you play it slow at first, right? Go slow. Does a G make sense here? Eccentric with a D. Sidekick of 1950s TV. Who's there in 1950s TV? TV relative who wears a bowler hat and sunglasses. Relative. Could that be the Addams Family guy? Does he wear a bowler hat and sunglasses? The only other thing I can think of is like Mo. It is always referred to as a relative, so I don't know. Position held by a woman at roughly 10% of Fortune 500 companies. CEO, CFO. Like some clocks. Now this looks like atomic. Which means it's not pardon. Enhances. Now that looks like adds to. Means could that be Tad? Dress down. Here's the okay, so this is telling us about our theme for the whole puzzle, the circles. Commercial identifiers. Or what 4 pairs of answers must do in order to match their clues. So how? What does Ray have to do to match this clue? Get out of Dodge, fancy few. Commercial. What are commercial identifiers? Brand names. Pair of answers must brand their names. Brand names fits, but I'm not sure how that... I don't know. I also don't like adds to. Let's come down over here. Dope. Letters on an organic label. What is it? USDA? Deal. Sold. Maybe like that. Partake of. Went from a trot to a canter. So, is a trot faster or slower than a canter? We're a horse and we're galloping, we're trotting. Probably go faster because that could be up. So speeds up. Oh, went from a trot to a canter. Sped up. Let's take away sold here. We sped up. Deal. Done. Partake of. Eat. Dope. Fat? Maybe. Wowzers. Something gosh. Issue in a group project. Or an ego could be an issue in a group. A boa you would not want around your neck. That looks like anaconda. So something's happening with these circles and the downs. Or we're just very wrong about what's happening. Could this be anything else if this is an A? Get out of Dodge. The theme has us tricked. I mean, the downs work here. And they work here. Let's see. Loud kiss. That still looks like smack, huh? Look. This looks like ticket again. And this looks like in reserve is on ice. So now we have two different things happening here. Smooth, slick. Wowzers, oh my gosh. Walked for a cause. Very tricky. That does look like Monroe, doesn't it? Fivesomes, pin tad. So why are these two sets of circles different? Sidekick. Oh, maybe that's Tonto. Centric. Calculations often expressed with a plus or a minus. Those are odds, right? So this is maybe trade names. The commercial identifier is a trade name. So maybe I understand. We flip, we trade, we move this over here and we move this over here. Which means this Ray goes over here to make that crayon. This Lee goes over here to make this leave. And ALI, the fancy few, is the A-list. Which means DON goes over here to be pardon. I think I'm understanding. No, you're good. Backseating's okay. Especially on a Thursday. We can teamwork it. If I want to just like stare at the puzzle, I will. But if we get stuck, I look over as well. No worries. I'm just happy you're hanging. Oh my gosh, I know, I looked at that. You like an eye there? Walked for a cause. Well, the last three letters have to come from over here. I'm worried that oh my gosh is not like a word with an I there. But I don't hate it. What else could it be? I mean, a Y doesn't make sense. Let's see what's happening here. Eccentric, maybe that's Dottie. Take baby steps, is that toddle, like a toddler? Roger's cousin. Oh, Roger, as in like, do you copy? Roger. You might also say, yes, sir, Roger. Certain Ivy Leaguer is an Eli, someone from Yale, so yes, sir makes sense. Could that be Abner? No. Don't know enough about this. So now that we have that DON, we know this is par and then done over here. So walked for a cause, maybe that's picketed. So I think you're right with the oh my gosh with an I. So maybe it's picketed. Maybe that is Abner. Dressed down, is that like to chastise, to berate? Born Asner, Ed Asner, of course, Ed Asner. So that could be RCA, and this is like scorn. So have a way with words. Something looks strange. Enhances. We have something wrong. We think this is a C something O, CEO, CFO. Have a way with words. Oh, maybe this is delete. Get rid of words, have a way with words. Delete. Yeah, enhances, adds to. Okay, now that we have the theme, I feel better. So this is definitely, oh wait, this is not HAL. That's inhalation. That has to, that HAL comes from over here. What's a marathoner's focus? Oh, it comes from here. Maybe it is pace. So it's PACE. Most lachrymose. Maybe lachrymose means sad. That's ringing a bell now. I thought it was more sloth. But if it means sad, it could be teariest. Which means a protection against tampering is a seal. A dancer's hall is a sleigh. Not sure I understand that. But we'll go with it because it's a word and it kind of fits. Dancer, would that be Dancer the reindeer? As in Rudolph and Dancer and Prancer? And their hall is in a sleigh? If so, that's very tricky, New York Times. You're very tricky. So now, Ray is here to make crayon. So what 3 letters do we need to make reaching across? How about spanning? So it's and, spanning. I like this. So maybe this will help us now with our downs, that we have the right trade names. That looks like schmo. Could be something else, but... Laurai's place of business. Mens rea. So this could be suntan. We like to get bronze for suntan. Oh, a brand for bakers. How about Crisco? I was thinking of like cake mixes and things, but this is like an oil, right? Crisco. And for New York, we're thinking of states, but I think New York might border Ontario in Canada. Trial figure with an ST. So I'm thinking of trial like a courtroom, but a trial could also be like a free trial, something you try. Stream doesn't fit, does it? Homecoming of a sort. Would that be no? A rut? Mens rea. We don't know for sure that that's schmo, so I guess we take away this M. Are we familiar with Gilmore Girls? I never watched Gilmore Girls, TBH. So what could her place of business be? I mean, we could be wrong about this being pace, P-A-C. So if this is like the name of a restaurant, that's going to be very hard to get. But if her place of business is like a gym or a spa, if it's a generic name, we could figure it out. I really like ANN for spanning. So I'm confident this is an N. So what might end in an N that's a place of business? Den? Unless it's the name of something, which we would have no idea. Mens rea. Here's the question. What is mens rea? It's a Latin term. It's a legal term, right? I don't know that that's correct. One thing is that our 3 letters, even though they get switched, they still make a word, right? So canon is still a word. It's not the clue, but it's still a word. So if we had pack, does this make a word? Impacation? Not really. So maybe that is a word. Could also be mile for the marathoner's focus. Inmolation, that's not really a word though, is it? Implication? We're not going to be able to know just because my brain doesn't know what mens rea is. I have a hard time figuring that out. And I have a hard time getting this. And I have no idea who the creature is in Owl Cap cartoons, although we think Schmo looks good. So we're going to have trouble with the downs. We like Crisco. Get bronze and suntan is nice. So, homecoming of a sort. Could a rug be a homecoming like the welcome mat? That's a stretch, huh? And G doesn't look great here. A rut? But with the T, I don't love what's happening there. How can we make a word out of this? And that word, those three letters, also complete the word of a marathoner's focus. This is the question. A trial figure. Oh, a stenographer. Okay. We had a aha moment. Could that be CNN? What else would be NN? And what on earth is this bowling pin-shaped creature? Shlew? Keep in mind, we have to make a word here for a marathoner's focus. So, these three letters with an E at the end. And I'm thinking of a marathoner like a runner. What if it's like a binge TV show watcher? And we're just guessing on CNN, aren't we? And hoping that we're right. What else could that be? Anne? Redound is intent. Oh, I like that. Intent. Maybe that's the legal term for the intent, the motive. So the homecoming is a run. So if this is a T, then like if we were to ignore this and we were making a clue, the marathoner's focus is something like this. I mean, if that's CNN, does this make a word? It doesn't help us with our marathoner. Invitation. A bowling pin-shaped creature. Moo. Shlew. Woo. Do we like all of these answers? I think so. Okay, it says keep trying. I mean, the key would be to unlock what the marathoner's focus is with the T right here. Higher. Oh, time. They want to get a good time. That would mean that she works at INN, and this is shmoo. But that does make a word, intimation. Let's try time, T-I-M. There it is. Okay, 33 minutes. Quite the marathon. Okay. So we didn't speed run today. We took our time. Thanks, Guff, for the help in a couple spots. Do we want to learn anything? What do we want to learn today? We want to know what shmoo is. That's a bowling pin shaped character, all right. I've never seen that in my life. But now we know. Al Cap, there it is. We will forever remember shmoo. Margarita, the frozen margarita being invented in Dallas is a nice little trivia tidbit. Yeah, GG's. We'll take it. What do we say? GG? What else do we say? Go next. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. Yeah. 33 minutes was not short. It was not short.